Most visitors know the name Angkor Wat, but few realize that Angkor Wat was only one part of something much bigger. Nearly 1,000 years ago, this was Angkor, one of the largest cities on Earth and the heart of the Khmer Empire. Hidden among the jungle were royal palaces, massive reservoirs, and extraordinary temples built by powerful kings. Today, we're exploring this lost world, from the ancient gates of Angkor Thom and the mysterious faces of Bayon, to the jungle-covered ruins of Ta Prohm, the pyramid-like Baphuon Temple, and finally, the legendary Angkor Wat itself. This is the story of one of history's greatest cities. I arrived in Siem Reap, and early the next morning, at sunrise, I set out to explore this ancient city. At my hotel, I asked them to find me a tuk-tuk driver for the whole day, because the temples are spread far apart, and it would be impossible to explore the area on foot. Visiting this place had been a dream of mine for many years, and I can honestly say it was one of the most impressive places I have ever visited. Our first stop was Angkor Thom, the last great capital of the Khmer Empire. To enter the city, we crossing the South Gate, built in the late 12th century. For centuries, this was one of the main entrances to the royal capital. Lining the bridge are 108 giant stone figures. On one side stand 54 gods, easily recognized by their calm faces. On the other side are 54 demons with bulging eyes and more fierce expressions. Together they are pulling a giant serpent called Naga. The scene comes from an ancient Hindu legend. According to the story, gods and demons joined forces to stir the cosmic ocean of milk in search of the elixir of immortality. And above the gate, 4 enormous smiling faces look out in every direction. Even today, historians still debate who they represent. Some believe they show King Jayavarman VII, others think they depict the Buddhist figure Avalokiteshvara, while some suggest they represent the Hindu god Brahma. Their meaning still remains a mystery. Whatever the answer, this was an unforgettable way to enter one of the greatest cities of the ancient world. Angkor Thom literally means great city, and nearly 900 years ago it was one of the most impressive capitals in Southeast Asia. Surrounded by massive walls and a wide moat, the city covered about 9 square kilometers. But according to some historians, Angkor Thom was much more than a royal capital. They believe the entire city was designed as a model of the universe itself. The moat represented the cosmic ocean, while at the very center stood Bayon Temple, symbolizing Mount Meru, the mythical mountain believed to be the center of the universe and the home of the gods. At the heart of Angkor Thom stands Bayon, the temple that became the spiritual center of the new capital. Built by King Jayavarman VII in the late 12th century, about 100 years after Angkor Wat, it was the last great state temple of the Khmer Empire. Originally known as Victory Mountain, Bayon stood at the very center of the city, with roads from all 5 gates leading directly to it. But what makes Bayon truly unforgettable are its mysterious stone faces. Today, 37 towers and 173 faces survive, but historians believe there were once more than 50 towers and over 200 faces watching over the city. And nearly 800 years later, nobody knows for certain who they represent. Some believe the faces portray King Jayavarman VII himself. Others think they depict Avalokiteshvara, the Buddhist bodhisattva of compassion. Some historians even suggest they were meant to represent both, presenting the king as an ideal ruler. Walking through Bayon almost feels like entering a stone labyrinth. Around every corner, another giant face appears, quietly looking out in all directions. And the stories carved into the walls are just as fascinating. Alongside scenes of war, the reliefs show everyday life nearly 8 centuries ago. Markets, musicians, fishermen, hunters, cooks, and ordinary people all appear here, offering a remarkable glimpse into a world long gone. Our next stop was Ta Prohm, one of the most atmospheric temples in all of Angkor. Built in 1186 by King Jayavarman VII, the temple was originally known as Rajavihara, or Royal Monastery. It was dedicated to the king's mother, and the main statue represented the Buddhist goddess of wisdom, with features said to resemble her. But Ta Prohm was much more than a temple. It was a vast monastery and university, home to more than 12,500 people. Another 80,000 people living in nearby villages supplied everything the complex needed. Hundreds of dancers and priests served here, and the temple possessed enormous wealth, including gold, pearls, and silk. After the decline of the Khmer Empire, Ta Prohm was abandoned, and for centuries the jungle slowly reclaimed it. Unlike many other temples in Angkor, archaeologists chose to leave Ta Prohm much as they found it. As a result, visitors today can see what much of Angkor may have looked like when it emerged from the jungle. Massive tree roots twist around the ancient stones, sometimes damaging the structures, but in other places actually holding the walls together. It is no surprise that Ta Prohm became known as the Jungle Temple, appearing in the movie Tomb Raider starring Angelina Jolie. Ta Prohm is also home to one of Angkor's greatest mysteries. Hidden among the carvings is a small image that many visitors believe looks remarkably like a stegosaurus. Some researchers argue that the plates on its back are actually leaves in the background, and that the animal itself may simply represent a local species. Others are not so sure. Whatever the answer, this tiny carving has sparked debate around the world and remains one of the most intriguing details in all of Angkor. What do you think? Does it really look like a dinosaur? Let me know in the comments below. Our next stop was Baphuon, one of the oldest and most important temples in Angkor. Built in the mid-11th century, about 100 years before Angkor Wat, Baphuon once served as the state temple of the Khmer Empire. Dedicated to the Hindu god Shiva, it was later transformed into a Buddhist temple. Located near the royal palace inside Angkor Thom, Baphuon was designed as a temple mountain, symbolizing Mount Meru, the mythical center of the universe and the home of the gods. In its day, Baphuon was the largest temple ever built by the Khmer people. Only later would Angkor Wat surpass it in size and grandeur. The base of the temple measures roughly 120 by 100 meters, and historians believe it once rose nearly 50 meters high. More than 700 years ago, a Chinese diplomat and traveler named Zhou Daguan spent nearly a year in Angkor. After returning home, he wrote a remarkable book called The Customs of Cambodia, one of the only eyewitness accounts of life in the ancient Khmer Empire. During his stay, he was so impressed by Baphuon that he called it the Bronze Tower and described it as a truly astonishing sight. Thanks to Zhou Daguan's writings, we have a rare glimpse into everyday life in Angkor more than 700 years ago. He recorded that the city gates were closed every night and that dogs and criminals were not allowed inside. Seeing the king was a rare event, but when the ruler appeared, it became a spectacular procession. Soldiers marched ahead, followed by musicians, princes, and hundreds of palace women. The king himself rode on an elephant holding a sacred sword, while the elephant's tusks were covered in gold. Zhou Daguan was fascinated by ordinary life as well. People sat on the floor instead of using tables and chairs. Food was cooked in clay pots, and coconut shells were used as ladles. One thing especially surprised the Chinese traveler. He wrote that most merchants in the markets were women, and that nearly everyone skilled in trade was female. One of the most unusual customs described by Zhou Daguan involved what he called divine judgment. When a dispute could not be resolved, the two men would be locked separately inside small stone towers. After several days, if one became ill while the other remained healthy, this was taken as proof that the gods had decided who was right. Even the army impressed him. Soldiers often fought barefoot, carrying only spears and shields, with little armor or military equipment. Without realizing it, Zhou Daguan became one of history's earliest travel writers, preserving a fascinating picture of a world that vanished centuries ago. Finally, I arrived at Angkor Wat. Crossing the Great Moat and walking along the main causeway, it is hard not to understand why this place has fascinated travelers for centuries. Built between 1113 and 1150 by King Suryavarman II, Angkor Wat was originally dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu and was intended to serve as the king's own temple and final resting place. According to an ancient inscription, Suryavarman himself won the throne after a dramatic battle in which he leapt onto his rival's war elephant and killed the opposing prince. After securing his empire, the king embarked on one of the most ambitious building projects in history. Covering around 162 hectares, Angkor Wat remains the largest religious monument in the world. but Angkor Wat was designed to represent far more than a temple. Many scholars believe the entire complex was conceived as a model of the universe. The vast moat surrounding it symbolizes the cosmic ocean, while the 5 central towers represent Mount Meru. Unlike most Khmer temples, Angkor Wat faces west, and historians still debate why. Some connect it to Vishnu, while others believe it may have reflected the king's funerary intentions. As I walked through the galleries, I discovered nearly 800 meters of intricate carvings depicting scenes from Hindu epics, battles, heavenly beings, and even moments from the royal court of Suryavarman II himself. Centuries later, Angkor Wat gradually became a Buddhist temple, and unlike many other monuments in the region, it was never completely abandoned. Perhaps that is why it survives today in such extraordinary condition. And as the sun began to set and I returned once again to the Great Moat, watching the famous towers reflected in the water, it was easy to understand why Angkor Wat is considered one of the most remarkable places ever built by human hands. Thank you for watching and for being here. My channel is still growing, and your likes, comments, and subscriptions help a lot. If you'd like to support the channel further, you can do it via PayPal or crypto. Every bit of support helps me create more videos. Watch the next episode.